Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest breaking Manchester United transfer news. And look, we're going to start off talking about Jadon Sancho. We've got big comments coming in from Paul Scholes criticising Amorim's selection policy. Is it fair? I don't think it is, but we'll get into that in a moment. Also a little bit on Bruno Fernandes, but let's start on Jadon Sancho. He is apparently coming back to Manchester United this summer. This is coming in from Mullock in the Mirror. Often drops a lot of stuff on a Sunday morning and has done over the years and has been correct. Whether they've still got good connections into Manchester United since Ten Hag's gone is up for debate, but they did have good connections. However, this is probably more coming from Chelsea because Chelsea are wanting to spend the £5 million to send Jadon Sancho back. Now, apparently, well, not apparently, the deal's there to be done for £25 million and that was agreed at the start of the season. However, we found out a couple of months ago, because this is how we get treated as fans, we get treated like mushrooms and fed on poo in the dark. The reality is, last summer, they were all celebrating about, it doesn't matter that Sancho's going to a rival because it's a guaranteed deal for £25 million if Chelsea finish in the top 12. Chelsea finish in the top 12. Oh, actually, we forgot to tell you that they can spend £5 million and send him back. We end up with Jadon Sancho back on 250 grand a week with a year left on his contract. We get 5 million. That doesn't even cover his wage for the whole year that we've got left, does it? So it covers his wage for about 4 or 5 months. So what do Man United do with the 5 million with Jadon Sancho back? Well, the last thing I want to hear is let him come back and cook. I mean, if Chelsea don't want him in the city where he wanted to go and play, why come back to Man United where he doesn't want to be here? We've seen the Instagram tweets. We've seen what he's done. And most Man United fans don't want him back. Why would you want him back? We're trying to build something. Stop looking back. We're trying to move on these types of players. If you can't do it at Chelsea, you're not going to do it at Man United when you didn't do it at Man United in the first place. We've just got to move on from this. There is talk in the same article that there is interest from the Bundesliga, Leverkusen and Dortmund. I mean, Leverkusen are not going to be interested if they're going to get Ten Hag, are they? I mean, that is just a dead story to start off with. Ten Hag has been linked to Leverkusen. If he takes the job, he's not going to want Jadon Sancho, and Sancho's not going to want Leverkusen. Read their recent history. So I'm sure there will be some takers for Sancho. The problem will be the fact that he's on 250 grand a week. He's got a year left on his deal. And who's going to pay that? We may need to let him go for as little as 15 million, which I think just about makes us break even on what's left on his contract with only a year left. Obviously, I have to answer the question, do I think this is true? And what do I think it means for Manchester United? I think Chelsea are more ambitious than Jadon Sancho. I think that's why they're doing it. I sort of understand why they don't want him. Not that he's done bad. I think he scored a few goals in the Conference League. But when you look at that Chelsea side, I don't see him starting. The deal they've probably done to keep him for 25 million probably involves giving him good wages. And they've probably looked at it and gone, he's just not worth it. So I understand why Chelsea... I mean, it's bad. It's bad when somebody is saying we'd rather pay 5 million to send you back. What message does that send out to the rest of Europe that they've had Sancho on for a year and they don't want him? It doesn't really give him, put him in the best light, does it? But look, the most important thing is to deal with this efficiently. We know we need to bring players in, but we also know we've got people like Anthony, Sancho, Rashford that we need to move on, and that takes time. It takes time. If we're working on Sancho going to Dortmund or wherever, we're not working on bringing in a midfielder because United are slow. We can't multitask. We're not quick. So the thing that bothers me about these is these deals taking up our time when we need to be working on something else. So that's what bothers me about it. Could Sancho just come back and be part of pre-season and work? This is a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. And if United want to sell that, again, more fool the people who fall for it, because they did it with Ten Hag. Oh, Sancho's back. They're getting on really well. He's going on the tour. Sancho's cooking. And then we get rid of him. Like we were always going to get rid of him because it was all a PR stunt to put Sancho in the window. We can't do it again. We can't be taking players like this on the tour when we're trying to teach people discipline, a new system. You can't have people there who are just not part of the future. So that's the thing that concerns me the most. And also, we can't keep Jadon Sancho. To anybody that wants us to bring Sancho back and he might cook, we can't do it. And I'll explain you why. Pure finances. He's got 1 year left on his contract. You would therefore need to give him a new contract, because what he will do is run it down and then next summer you get nothing for him. So what's the point in bringing Sancho back, making him be part of the team, using him as part of the team, you've got to give him a new contract. No one's going to give him a new contract because, and then if you don't give him a new contract, but Amorim goes, I want him as part of my team, he runs his contract down like Trent and he goes for free. And United wouldn't bring him back and he wouldn't want to come back to United, but it makes no sense to do it. 1 year left on his contract. You can't use him. If you use him and it goes okay, you don't get any value out of it because he's gone for nothing. It's just a pointless project. Get him out of the club, move him on. It's a shame Chelsea don't want him, but that's just the way it's going to be. Get your thoughts in on that as well. Just quickly on Bruno, Saudi's reports this morning that they're going to try again. All I'm going to say about Bruno is that Man United can say he's our player and he's staying and this, that and the other, but he hasn't come out and said anything yet. I don't know why. Does he have to? Hasn't really given any interviews about it. Is he waiting? Look. Man United have said he's not going. Amorim said he's not going. I work off that. But, Bruno does do interviews. Bruno is capable of coming out and saying, I'm not going. I would feel a lot more comfortable when we have that. It's huge money. Is this something that's dependent on the Europa League as well? I guess we will just have to wait and see. Also, Man United watch along today against West Ham. I think we'll see quite a strong side. Just this quote from Paul Scholes sort of caught my eye. Manchester United should be able to play in 2 or 3 competitions at once without sacrificing something, and they've clearly sacrificed the league. I don't like it, and I don't agree with it, and I believe there has to be some sort of standard required in a Premier League team. It's almost as if they go into Premier League games and there's an acceptance that they're not going to win the games, which is madness. I think the acceptance has come from everyone. I think it's come from the manager, even though he won't admit it. He's not playing teams to win games of football in the league. I think even the fans are thinking, let's get these league games out of the way because the league has become a disaster. So Paul Scholes basically saying what Roy Keane said in the week. I don't like that we are not taking the Premier League seriously. I don't like the fact that we're sacrificing games. I think there should be some standards, and I don't like it. I agree. I think the Premier League season has been disgusting, and the Premier League is your bread and butter, and I don't like what's happened in the Premier League. But where I will jump in and say is, why are we saying this now, a week and a half out from a Europa League final? I mean, it's almost being negative for negative reasons. I mean, why? Why are we talking about the Premier League a week and a half before the biggest game in our recent history? We know the Premier League's been bad. What do you want him to do? Pick his strongest team today and on Friday. And then someone gets injured and most of the fan base goes, why did he do that? And this is my issue sometimes with opinion without reality. How many times do we see an ex-player say, Man United should go and get Lewandowski? It's never going to happen. A great signing, but it's never going to happen. It's opinion, fantasy opinion, I call it. Man United should be picking their strongest team in the Premier League. Okay, let's pick Mazraoui today then, because he's in our starting 11. He's in the red zone. He pulls his hamstring. He misses the final. Well, at least you're happy that we're picking the strongest team and we've got standards. It's just not real, is it? Jose Mourinho did this. Loads of teams do it. When you've got a big game coming up like that, or a big game coming up in a semi-final or a quarter-final, and your team's tired at the end of the season because FIFA, UEFA and the Premier League keep making more demands on players, you're basically playing every week of the year twice if you're a decent player, because there'll be some tournament, there'll be an extra bloody league game in Europe, there's game after game after game after game, and still we've got these people coming out saying, well, I think you should be picking your strongest team and I don't like it. I mean, when you played was very different to now. The demands were bad, but also the intensity wasn't as big and the calendar wasn't as big. You can't do that now. You can't just pick your best 11 every week because the game's too intense. You will get injuries. I want to see Man United be able to compete across 3 tournaments like Paul Scholes says, but we haven't got the squad. We haven't got the squad. If you want to be able to do that, you need what Man City had 2 or 3 years ago. You need a bench full of first-teamers. We haven't got a first team full of first-teamers. How can we have a bench full of first-teamers? We have to aspire to have a team that's capable of playing in the Premier League and in Europe and compete for both, but we don't have it. So to moan about it is just moaning. Absolutely have to look at our best players and protect them for the Europa League. Not just the final, but the semi-final and the quarter-final. It's a fantasy to moan about it publicly and just put pressure on Amorim that shouldn't be there. He's doing the right thing. We haven't got a team to pick our strongest team, and anybody who demands that we should be moaning at Joel Glazer, should be moaning at Sir Jim Radcliffe. We haven't got a squad to do it. It's as simple as that. Get your comments in. Lots to talk about there. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. We are live for the watch along and countdown to kick off very soon, but some big updates this morning. I'll speak to you on the next one. Can't end the video. Don't use your mouse left-handed. There we go.